Hecho de Mano, well, Hecho a Mano, which means made by hand. I will also introduce my artist. She will be painting the embodiment of my speech. Sorry, I may be revolutionary, but I'm not a public speaker.
Yeah, my name's Marrissa, and I'm going to be painting a piece while she talks.
Awesome. Okay, I will be introducing 3 people who are very influential in my life, or those who were influential in my life. Isabel Miguel Navarro, they were my great-grandparents. They came here from southern Texas. They were actually from Hidalgo. They started off as migrant workers, making 60 cents an hour. And as you can imagine, that is not a lot. But they decided that they wanted to move up, and so they started a tortilla factory called El Matador. And if you're from Michigan, you would see these on the shelves. They're like a big yellow bag, like you can't miss them. And they were the pioneers in my city of Grand Rapids. And so they created all these opportunities for many Hispanics in my neighborhood. They not only created jobs, but they gave funding to different programs in liberal arts, and they allowed Hispanics to finally create the voice that they didn't have already. They were very humble. They lived in the inner city. They did not like fashion, and all that stuff was not them at all, and they just really wanted to give back. So, I would now like to introduce my grandpa, Enrique Duran. He came here at the age of 14 from Mexico, and so he always taught me that education was the most important thing in life, because he was never able to gain that education. Like when he calls me, the first thing he asks me is, "Are you okay? How's your school going?" It's really funny because him and my grandpa, every time I tell them, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a TED Talk, I wanna join this," they're like, "Okay, well, 1, are you gonna get paid for it? And 2, like, is that gonna affect your studies? Because it can't." And so I always let them know, like, hey, no, I'm okay. But one thing that he told me that always stuck to me was, judge a person by his actions, not his accent. So that's very important. And why does this matter? Because these people have made me who I am today. And without them, education probably wouldn't be a top priority for me, and I wouldn't be here speaking in front of all of you. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a sophomore here studying international relations. I came from a high school that was way different from here. It was actually 80% minorities, which if you look at the statistics here, it's about 81% Caucasians. And so that was definitely a culture shock at its finest for me. But I consider myself to be very privileged, because out of my class, there were many DACA students who, as you now know, are being detained and aren't allowed to continue their studies. And there were also students who graduated with me and were very talented, but weren't able to continue their studies because they didn't have the financial support or the family support, because just because they finished high school was a step above their family, so that was enough. And taking risks. Without taking risks, I would never be here. I would like to say I was a leader in high school. I'd love to give back, and I wish I could have done more so that my peers could be here with me. And reaching out to the youth. For spring break, I had the opportunity to go back to my high school and talk to the seniors, which I'm very happy about, because only about, I'd like to say 10 of my class of 140 moved on to higher education. Culture shock. So coming down here, I was like, okay, well, 1, I'm going to Alabama, and I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We don't really do Greek life or like Lily or anything, and so like I always like went on Pinterest and I was like, okay, so how can I become like this Southern belle and preppy? So obviously like I'm scrolling through Pinterest, and I'm seeing like, okay, I had my mom buy me this Lily umbrella, which like it was not for me, but I was like, well, hey, I usually wear black, but whatever, I wear bright colors so I can fit in. And so definitely coming here was a big step for me. As it was mentioned, I founded the Hispanic Latino Association here on campus. It is the only organization now that creates that space for Hispanic and Latino students, faculty, staff, and community. It's funny how this started because at first we had our first meeting and it was me and another girl who I had just met who became my best friend, and we waited there for like an hour and nobody showed up, and it really it hurt my soul, but we decided that something wasn't right. So we reached out to other organizations, we reached out to faculty and staff, we reached out to the community and figured out what the demographics of Latino and Hispanic students here on campus were, because I know that me and her weren't the only ones. And so these are the statistics of 2016 enrollment. Hispanic and Latino students actually increased. It was, I think, about 3.0, and now we're at 4.2, so that was really great. We have about 200 members in our organization, and they're very committed, and I was able to create this family base for us, and I'm really happy about that because they are the reason why I'm here and why I'm willing to sacrifice everything for them, because I know they will sacrifice everything for me. And I hope everybody can find that sort of space here on campus. Building a family. This picture was taken during a workshop with UA Crossroads, and when I tell you we shared tears, laughs, and smiles here, it was definitely a big turning point for us. We really got to get to know each other on a deeper level, and for that I'm very thankful to UA Crossroads and the Source for providing that. And how we intend to remain. This semester we are very focused on professional and personal development. So that means that we're reaching out to different speakers, different companies, different influential Hispanic and Latinos, local and internationally, just so we can figure out how we're going to move forward and how we're going to be able to sustain ourselves here at the University of Alabama. I'm very proud to say that we're creating a Familia Bound, which is close to a Bama Bound, but it allows it allows students and their families to come, and will provide bilingual services that are completely volunteer-based, so it's free for them, rather than them having to pay the $250 plus whoever they're coming with. So we're very happy about that. And a day without an immigrant. These pictures were taken in my hometown, which I was so sad that I couldn't be a part of. But it just showed me that the work that we're doing here at the University of Alabama matters. Because although we're dealing with tough times, we can rely on our community here to keep us going, just like my community back at home did. Now with the executive orders and the executive orders that will come, we're not sure how to deal with everything, but at least now we have each other. And for that, I'm very thankful for. I'd like to say thank you. Our history is Hecho de Mano because everything that we have created here, we did by hand.